Hey everybody, my name is JJ Asgar, and I realize you can't see me at this exact moment in time, but that's fine. I'll flip over here in a second. But I kind of want to show what we're planning on doing today, which is playing around with folding at home. I know Spencer earlier on in the week went ahead and did something with Kubernetes and folding at home, and I am planning on using just traditional VMs in the VMware ecosystem that you can probably take some of this code and even use it yourself. If you don't know, folding at home is a way to use idle CPU to be able to do some pretty cool stuff. A lot of the COVID work, a lot of the gene profiling from here, and it's really, it's something that we all can do as technologists. So I spent some time, got some stuff set up, but it turns out I'm not doing enough. So we're going to spend this stream working on that. I'm going to go ahead and say hi in the chat to see if anyone's around. Hopefully, if you want to have any questions or thoughts, please go ahead and never hesitate to reach out through that chat, and I'm here to do it. So here I am. Hi. And I'll go ahead and share my desktop with me inside of it. But as you can see, my monitor is quite large, so it's very small. So what I'll do is I will do this one and occasionally just show you that I'm here. M. Peterson asked, is this kind of like Bionic? So I believe so. They're all kind of in the same kind of realm. But this one is the de facto one that is from Stanford. If you go to foldingathome.org, you can do some more research. But the coolest part about it is that getting it up and going is quite simple. There's a lot of cancer work around it and whatnot. If you have a Windows machine or a Mac machine or a Linux machine, you can just install this simple binary. And when you're not using your laptop, it will actually start rolling through and doing some of the work. As you see here, I have 10 machines, 0 through 9, out on a cluster, actually crunching through some of these right now. And if you take a look here, this is an actual visualization of what they are processing, which I think is kind of cool. And of course, it's taking a little longer than I was expecting, but whatever. There we go, maybe. Make a liar out of me? I guess so. It's all good. But I have a data center here with VMware. And as you can see, I have 0 through 10. And if you look at the machines that I have running, which is just one of them here, you'll notice that it's sitting at a load average of about 2 with 50% of the CPU being used. And if you take a quick gander here, cat etc or proc CPU, you'll notice that I have 4 vCPUs per machine because it starts with 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to spin it up. So we're going to try to maximize all these CPUs because obviously that's not cool that I'm not using them all. And if you'll see here, this is 108. And 108 is this one right here. And as you can see, I have 2 work queues running. One's going to take a day and 0.46 to churn through this whole thing. And this one will actually be done by the time we're done streaming, which is kind of cool. And as you can see, I have 2 more CPUs, 2 more folding slots open. So that's the reason why I'm only sitting at 50% of my utilization. And I just discovered this today, where you had to have multiple folding slots. So hopefully I can spend some time discovering how to optimize these machines, because as you can see here, I only have like 1 here, which isn't great, right? So what we'll do first is I'll walk through all these to make sure they're all 4 CPUs, and hopefully we'll get some more folding done. And let's see if this one actually pops up. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. Thinking about it. There we go. So as you can see, it's figuring out whatever this is, which is kind of neat. Now, I don't actually know, and I haven't been able to find out any data on this, which is it better to have one big machine doing folding at home? Because if you noticed, when I just flipped through here really fast, you'll see that I have 64 processors in this whole cluster. And these are all rather large machines. As you can see, I have 510 gigs of free memory, or capacity of the memory, and 137 or 134 gigahertz of processing power. So would it be better for me to have one, like, strip all these down into like really big machines, or like really big machines, and just churn through all this data? Or is it better to have a lot of little machines that can churn through things? Like, it's that question, right? Do you have iterative changes from one, like a bunch of small little iterative changes that can do like small little bits of work, so that it's basically parallelizing it, or is it serial? And I've chosen the parallelizing. I can't say that word for the life of me. Parallelizing, because it seems like it would be a better way of doing this. Because if you look back at this guy over here, this guy's going to take 23 days, and this one isn't doing anything, and this one's going to take 2 hours. So there's obviously a queue of these actual like things to crunch. So some of them might be really small, some of them might be really big. So having a bunch of small ones seems like the right way to do this. This is also all through the CPU, which is not as ideal as using something like a GPU from NVIDIA or whatever. But this is my lab environment that I learned how to use new technology with VMware and things on the IBM cloud. So I don't have access to that type of hardware, but I do have a bunch of idle CPU time, so I might as well use it for something, right? So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, so let's keep going. First thing first is this one has 4, as you can see. This one also has 4. So let's see this guy. This guy has that. So if you open up the configure here, this is the FAA control. I should have actually mentioned that first. This is brought in as what's the word I'm looking for? Client server architecture. There's the client, there's a control, and there's actually also a web layer. If you look on top of, there's the viewer. Sorry, the control, the viewer, and the client. I'm obviously not doing anything on my local machine here. I've turned everything off. If you notice, my power right here is at 11%. It's because I accidentally turned it on overnight, and I forgot to plug my machine in. So that was a mistake. Be sure to know that you have no floating slots on your main machine unless you want to do that. So I turned off all the floating slots and turned everything down to light, but I can still control the clients, which are these guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and configure this one. And luckily, it's really easy to just add in a new slot. You just click on that new slot button, and I don't really know anything what's going on here apart from CPU slots. CPU slot uses more and more CPUs. And if you do -1, you basically tell it the number of CPU threads this slot should use. So my theory is I just add 4 of these because I have 4 CPUs. And that should open up 4 threads to do it. And then I just hit save. And as you see, I now have a bunch of CPU slots open. And now I've got a bunch of work queues coming up, which is pretty cool. My goal, and this is true, is to get my machines to all turn red because I want high CPU usage, right? Because that's the way it's done. So I'll go ahead and add a couple more here. Okay, and okay, add, there we go. And then configure, add, okay, add, okay. There we go, and save. And then we're gonna go over here. And as you can see, this one's completely idle. I did create a team that was just specifically for this one, but if you are using Folding at Home and you want to use that team number, I can easily, send that out at a later date. As you can see, I think because of all the different people trying to use Folding at Home now, because there are a lot of tech nerds out there with this whole with COVID that are stuck at home, we have a lot of idle CPUs now. So I think we've actually broken Folding at Home. As you can see, it says bad gateway. If you look at the team monthly, or I think there's a full stat button here. Statistics. Here we go. Project summary. This is actually at least telling us something, which is nice. And there are people who are using this a lot. So that's really, really cool. Okay. Go ahead and close this out because we don't actually need to see that. And we are over here. So I will go back into configure, add, okay, save. As you saw that updating, which is nice. It's actually telling us what's going on. Add, okay, add, okay. And okay, save, and then configure, and okay, and okay. Hey, and thank you, Harish G9, for following the channel. Appreciate that. We have streams going on pretty regularly. So hopefully you can find something else that'll you can help out with, find some other things around the cloud or with IBM technologies and whatnot. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat. I'm here to help. And like I said, I'm just kind of playing around with Folding at Home because I got some extra cycles, literally CPU cycles. So I might as well take advantage of it, right? There we go. And then this one. Now I don't actually know how the actual deployment of these binaries, or not binaries, I guess files that the CPU is actually crunching on, because did I put too many in here? I did. Configure. We'll remove that one. Save. So as you can see, they do download something. I don't actually know what it is, and it turns out they are very kind of tight-lipped on how all this stuff kind of talks about, and you can't actually open source this, or you can't look at the open source software or anything, which I thought was kind of weird. You would think that, especially as an academic institution, you should be able to, access the data, but for whatever reason you can't. So I found that kind of weird. Okay, so we now have all our machines, our whole little cluster of 10 machines. Hopefully using all 4. So let's see if we have anyone that's running 2 yet, apart from the original one. No. Oh wait, hold on. This one. Here we go. This is going to take 5 days. Great. What number is this? This is 175. So let's go ahead and SSH into 175. 175. Hopefully this is big enough for everyone to see. I can make it bigger if you need to. And don't worry, these machines are all called CentOS 8 because I'm lazy. And I just basically cloned a bunch of machines. I did write an Ansible playbook, which I'll show here off in a second, to do the work. But this is just basically me dumping in a bunch of automated work to do. So I'm going to go ahead and flip over to this one. So here I am again. Hey, everybody. So let's see here. And hopefully that text is big enough for everybody, too. We'll see. So we go ahead and, if you don't know, there's a really neat command called htop. Sudo dnf install -y htop. And I have these machines behind a firewall, so you can't get to them. Oh, there is no htop. That's not what I was expecting. Yum. Really? What happened to htop? Well, that's the first thing we can start looking at here. CentOS htop not found. When did this happen? As you can see, it's a nice little oh, haha, it's on the EPL releases. My mistake. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab this one. Oh, that's right. Okay, well, I'll come back to that in a minute. So, as you can see here, we have... No, actually, that's not exactly what I wanted. Sudo yarn dnf install -o. Nice. Oh, awesome, Nibs. So Nibs went ahead and created a folding at home. Docker. Oh, perfect. So he went the modern containerization way, where in what I ended up doing was JJ Asgar folding at home playbook. Yeah, so I went the different direction, which is I ended up trying to use the Ansible playbook and actually created a Vagrant file, because it had been a while for me to actually do this, that rebuilds or gives you a VM on your local machine to be able to see folding at home work inside of it. If you look at the playbook, it's basically all the installation system. So Nibs, my boss here, he wrote a Docker file that actually does all the same stuff inside of a Docker container. And I went down the Ansible route because honestly I needed to work on my Ansible work a little bit better. So that kind of took that. We tried to solve the same problem in two very different ways. And I'll go ahead and put this in the chat so people can click on it if they so choose. And then, like I said, I'm an old school admin. Check out line 10 of the Docker file. Line 10 of the Docker file. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is, oh, nice. I should have noticed that. That is really cool. Yeah, I really should watch your stream about the, how you use GPUs to do this stuff, because it's obviously a hell of a lot more efficient than using the CPUs. But I was just trying to take advantage of the VMware cluster I had. So, is this large enough for everyone to see? Do I need to stream? So, oh, you didn't actually get it to work on the stream. I did not realize it. I did not realize that. But hey, you got it to work though. That's really cool. You know, the best thing to do is to learn how to do all this stuff, right? Interestingly enough, if you didn't know, in the process of learning how to play around with Ansible again, if you're running CentOS 8, which is the upstream version of Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Ansible isn't actually installed on there. nor is it actually is it a package. It's an RP, or you can't just do DNF install Ansible. You have to install Python 3 first, and then install pip, and then use pip install as a user to actually get Ansible so you can actually use it to do actual administration, which I thought was interesting. Uh-oh. Have I lost my stream? Am I back? I've got little red lights here. Oh, okay, good. Sorry about that. According to my streaming software, it looks like everything went red. So I don't know if that means anything. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. This is the way to actually install Ansible. I think it'd be ironic to have a playbook to install Ansible that way, but I thought that was kind of fun. But yeah, go ahead and pull the repo down if you so choose. And if you've never used Vagrant before, you can literally just do a Vagrant up and it'll run everything inside of that machine in a clean environment. Oh, okay. I did not realize my bitrate was so high. Thank you for that. I will see if I can change that down a little bit. And I actually don't know how to do that, so I'll have to figure that out when I take my first little break here. And maybe I can show off on how to run this Vagrant machine here later also. Nice, Brown, or MW Brown. That's nice. I like it. I got a nice 4K monitor here, and people make fun of me how big my screen is, but you know, I like being able to see everything. Okay. So yeah, if I want to do this, wget, because we don't have wget, and pull it in. Yes, install it. Good. Go ahead and pull that down, and that is not there. So I need to find the EPL package for CentOS. There. CentOS 8. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, of course. I was looking at the wrong thing. Story of my life. Pull this in. Go ahead and pull that in. Oh, sudo. Yes. And then grab. I don't actually think you need to do the DNF update. I think it automatically does it for you. So let's go ahead and just try htop immediately. Yeah, see, go ahead and pulls it down anyway. So I don't know why it's telling you to do it that way. And yes, this is what I'm looking for. And it's thinking about it. Uh-oh. Why are you going? You're thinking about it. References. Stream output. All right, there we go. Okay, so I went ahead and tried to drop my stream rate here. What happened here? Download patch stream. So let's go ahead and do DNF update, because maybe you actually did have to do it. Ah, yeah, looks like you did. You had to agree to the fingerprints, and we'll go ahead and install it again. So, yes. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So, there we go. So, as you can see, we actually are reusing all 4 of our processors here, with one processor being idle. So, that's interesting. I was expecting this to be different. Oh, no, but we turned it all 4. That's right. So, as you can see, we have 3 clients here. 3 clients of actually doing the folding at home for what we wanted. So if I come back over here, there we go. So we actually are pulling down the stuff we're looking for. We got 14 hours on 2 of them, and we're still waiting for one to download there. So we got lucky. We picked the one that actually started doing real work. So hopefully that'll actually start churning through stuff, which is what we were hoping to see. And if I go to top-C, and you see our load average is that. Is there? I don't actually know. Does it actually tell me here? Yeah, here we go. Load average. So the load average is 3. So if you didn't know, the load average is a running joke in sysadmins worlds, where it doesn't actually mean anything. But that's not 100% true. It does actually mean something. It's what is in line to take the CPU usage. That is the shortest and easiest way to describe it. So, but when we had multi-core processors and multi-core processors coming out, and more advanced hardware than it was just a single core CPU, that became a joke. So what you actually divide it by, you take the load average and divide it by how many CPU cores you have. That cat proc CPU info thing I showed you earlier, and that would be what is waiting for one of your CPUs to work. So as you can see, the load average is 3. We have 3 CPUs churning through stuff. So we actually have one full CPU completely open right now to do other stuff, which is really, really important, right? Which is good. So if you see a load average of like 15 on a machine, but it turns out there are 20 processors inside of it, that's not a bad problem. It's just something you should pay attention to. So that's pretty cool, huh? So now we have this. Let me go ahead and what I will do is I will spin up another machine. What I was doing is I actually ended up creating. I did it the wrong way for configuration management. What I ended up doing is I actually created a golden image, which was this folding at home 01, and I just stamped out a bunch of versions of that, just because they, I just needed the exact same thing over and over again. But what I'll do here is I'll spin up and I'll take this same machine. I will clone it to another virtual machine, and I'll call it virtual or folding at home -11, and then I'll go ahead and do it the wrong way first, and then I'll show you some stuff I can change with using the playbook and all. And I'll go ahead and power it on and finish. So then we'll have 11 show up here. Now, as you notice, if you've ever used VMware before, all this stuff is usually updates real time. Well, it turns out I actually had to figure out a way to do it. This is not actually a machine. This is actually a proxy server to connect to it, which is kind of interesting. I use a proxy to get to my internal network to do it. This was actually a really fun experiment to figure out, but unfortunately, as I said, you haven't seen folding at home 11 show up yet. But because it's not real time, because all the JavaScript and all that jazz, you have to refresh the page to actually show it back up. So it takes a second. But I'm going to wait for the IP to show up here. Maybe. One of the most important things I discovered on the way on this little trip here. Oops. Come on, give me an IP. Give me an IP. So, as we get there, we are expecting IP of 172.16.1. There we go. And as I said, it had CentOS 8. I'm lazy, but that's fine. These machines aren't going to last too much longer. This is just kind of helping out with the COVID stuff or the folding at home. Or I can just turn them off, to be honest with you. That's the beauty of a lot of this work, is that it's ephemeral. but I'm still giving back to the community. 172, 16, 10, 239. Okay, so that's the machine that we're actually going to be getting into. And if I remember correctly, I actually started on boot because that's what you should do, because the machine might actually blow up in your face, or might need to reboot. So pswx, oops, grep, fa client. There we go. So we actually are running our client. Some things I discovered as I was on this path is this configuration file. As the most important thing you need to know about this that's not the configuration file. Holding it home. Cat templates. There we go. No, that is not what I was expecting. Hang on. Ooh, so I might actually have to change this. Okay, so this is 239. So if my numbers are right here, I should not be able to connect to this. 239. Because I discovered that, oh, no. Okay, I guess I can connect to it. And it's gotten using all 4 CPUs already. Wow, that's really interesting. I was not expecting that at all. IP8, 230, 239. Huh. Oh! It's because I cloned from O1, right? Because as you can see here, 239 has an hour and 47 minutes left, about 71%. This is 2 hours. It's running the same one. Okay, so that's not what we want to do. We need to actually stop one of these, then clone from there to make sure we don't send the same data twice. That's an interesting problem. I did not think about that. Huh. Okay. So which one is not doing any work? All of these seem to be doing the same work. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll spin up a blank machine and build it from the ground up here. And then maybe create a template that is a blank machine to be able to clone from there, so we don't make a mistake like we just did there. Because when this is finally done, it'll be gone, or it'll be the same data crunched through twice. First world problem, I guess. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new virtual machine, and we are going to deploy from a template. A template is a way to basically create basic machines. As you can see, I have a Debian 10 one, a Fedora 31, and a CentOS 8. Debian Gold is another project that maybe I'll do on a different stream. But what I have is just simple CentOS 8 template here. And I will call this folding at home template. Seems like a reasonable thing. Where we don't actually start up the process, or the folding and home client or anything. It just it'll have everything it needs to be able to run. It just won't actually do it. And we'll run the Ansible against it also, so we can have a blank machine with everything already installed, but nothing in the queue, which is important. If you have any questions or thoughts, go ahead and don't hesitate to ask. I'm kind of just rolling through this as trying to figure it out. Ooh, that one's... Oh, see, there we go. We got our high CPU usage again on 6, which is what we were hoping for. Okay, let's see where this one pops up. Hey, and DK Hands, I can't, DK Hands made, just followed. Thank you so much. Well, we usually have a lot of cool technology stuff going on around the cloud stuff and IBM. We spend a lot of time on Kubernetes. We also spend a lot of time inside of just normal infrastructure work. We're a bunch of IBM developer advocates. that we're trying to leverage our skill set and try to teach people along the way. My job is to be a resource, so please never hesitate to reach out. Aha! Here we go. 99. Okay. So SSH admin. Because admin is a used name, I just default to admini because that's what I've done. 216 10 199. Yes. Yes. Oop. All right. So we should not psw grep a. As you see, nothing there, which is good. We have nothing crazy running. It's basically a completely idle machine because it's just a basic installation of a CentOS box. And then if I come, so we know how to get into this machine now, which is good. So if I go over into my Ansible playbook, source, GitHub, no, I put it on a local, didn't I? Local. And then Ansible. And then folding at home. Cat readme. Is this the right one? I think that's the one I actually cd folding. Folding at home. Maintenance. Here we go. Okay. So, first thing first. I'm going to open up my README. Oops. Now, very good practice to have when you're working in these types of worlds is to actually have your own personal READMEs of useful commands and things like that, because there's usually some type of incantation, for lack of a better term, that you need to remember. And unless you do it every single day, all day, every day, it is hard to remember some of this stuff. So I've just started learning to write READMEs to myself. And as you can see, I have a README of how to do some maintenance to make sure that I can kill all the agents if I need to, start all the agents if I need to. Also, put in a new configuration file, which is important because, configuration files are important, right? So let's do the first thing first. We have just spun up this new machine, and we are going to be doing it from the ground up here. And I will take this inventory and this machine. I should really sort these. Sort line. Sort lines. Sort lines. There we go. So these are nice and sorted now. And then that was 199 if I remember correctly. So what I'll do is take this and then put this as 99. And then my first thing, because I always want to make sure that I'm not crazy, is I like to ping all my machines to make sure that they're there and I can get there. Even though I know I've just SSH'd into it, it's just a good habit to have. So I'm going to grab this command, and as you can see, Ansible all ping this inventory, that inventory, with the user of admini to make sure that it's there. And then the K is to ask for the password to get into it. And luckily I have the same password everywhere. I will do it. And this should come back pinging successfully across the board, which is what we wanted. And it's in order too now, which is even better, because now I know it goes progressively up. Or is it in order? Where's 199? It's not in order, of course. That was asking too much. Okay, so we've got that there. Now, if I go back to folding at home, folding at home, and I look at this playbook, it's the same playbook I was expecting. What we do is we make sure everything's up to date. We install Cronny. Cronny is the new NTP agent for CentOS. It's important you want to make sure that you have your things up to date in the right time. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back to this one. so make sure everyone can see what I'm looking at. So make sure the cronny is there. And then the application is actually written in Python 2. You should not be writing your applications in Python 2 anymore. It is deprecated and gone. So that's important. Then sorry, one second. Then, so I make sure that Python 2 is up to date, even though it is out of date. Then I actually make a symlink because this application actually requires the 2.6 Python. It is actually very, very old. So hopefully they'll change that soon. And then from there, I will install the client, which is what actually does most of the work. Then I install the control, which I don't actually need to do, as I've learned after doing this, but it's just a good habit to do exactly what the instructions say. Eventually, maybe I'll make it easier. And then same with the viewer. There's no GUI on these machines because they're all just, board machines. Then we're going to take this config file. It's an XML config file. If you look here, templates, config. This right here took me a very long time to figure out. And that's even why I put the forum in there. So if you want to have remote control of your machines, just like how I do here, to be able to talk to it. By the way, this is not in order. That is really bothering me. You actually have to open up to the VLAO of specific CIDR. I tried to do 172.16.10, but then I realized that the way I VPN in, I actually have 10.8.0x as mine, and I tried to use that as that CIDR, and that did not work. So that was annoying. And then I spent about 10-15 minutes not understanding why 000 didn't work. And it turns out the password is actually required. It's not in the documentation, which is very, very frustrating. So I did the super secure password of 123456. And it's important to know that you shouldn't do this out on the real internet. Luckily, I am behind a firewall inside a data center where I am the only one with control of these machines, so I don't have to worry about it. But if you're doing this, don't do this on the real internet. Find a way to block off. Otherwise, you'll have random people trying to connect to it. And it's very easy to send just telnet commands to these things too. It is very much the lowest common denominator. Okay, so what we'll do is Ansible playbook. There we go. Oh, yes. So this is something else I discovered. So if you did not know about Ansible, with Ansible, you need to actually have your SSH key ID already in your known host file. So something in this process of learning, there is this nice little simple, basically runs SSH key scan against all your known hosts and adds them directly to your SSH known host file. Believe it or not, this is a very strong, or this is a very frustrating thing in ephemeral data or ephemeral machines out there. If you're going to spin up a bunch of them and you want to run something like Ansible against it, it needs to know that it can connect to it, or it's allowed to connect to it. And this way, you can write like a Jenkins job or something that actually creates this known host file for you that actually pulls it down. So when a machine gets built up, it can pull down that key already for you, and you can actually check out of it. This is super useful. What I'll do actually, I will copy this and I will throw this in to a gist right now, just so I can put it in the chat, because this really did save me a lot of time when I figured this one out. I did take this from someone else, but this way you can have it also for yourself. SSH key scan.yaml YAML, can't type, Ansible playbook to pull key down from inventory file. Inventory.yaml. There we go. You have to have inventory.yaml, so keep that in mind. This will make me much happier later on, and I will throw this into the chat. There we go. Hopefully that helps someone else in the future. Okay, so what I will do now is SSH key snip, Ansible and I can't type because everyone's watching me. Ansible playbook. Nope. Ansible playbook. Here we go. So I'll actually run it now. So it goes through, updates all the keys. As you can see, everything changed, which is fine. That's not a big deal. And if I go to my cat.sh known host file, as you can see, here are my new host files, are my new SSH keys for these guys to make sure that I am talking to the correct machine. And here is 99, like we were expecting. Even though we had actually already SSH into it once, we'd already saved it down. That's the reason why it was already there. But if I went ahead and deleted it, so let's go ahead and delete, let's delete it, right? So if I go ahead and delete everything, and then I go ahead and do the ping again, you will see it doesn't know what's going on because it doesn't have the fingerprint. It's not very happy. So what I'll do is the SSH key, nope. Pull it all down, and it runs a key scan against it. As you can see, just on the left-hand side here, it tacked it all back in. So then if I do the ping, it double checks everything like we wanted to, and there we go. So we're back to where we were. But as you can see, it's a very, very, very powerful thing to make sure that if you got the IPs, so if you figured out some automation to be able to pull in the IPs of machines of EC2 instances or of EC2 instances or VMs on the IBM Cloud or Ansible or Azure instances or whatever. This is a way to make sure that if you need to SSH into a bunch of different machines, this is a way to get those keys very easily. So take a little bit of time to look at that. Now, if I remember correctly, that's a let me double check. History grep SSH key scan. I think it was a brew install SSH key scan. Should tell me it's already installed. No, maybe it was already there. Huh. Okay. Well, that's fine. As you can see, I didn't actually do anything apart from just getting up and running. So that's cool. All right. So let's go ahead and copy inventory to folding and home maintenance. Not folding and home maintenance, folding and home, and then CD bang dollar. I'm in that thing now. So if I do playbook history grep playbook okay. So what I'll need to do is I need to do Ansible playbook u add mini -I inventory playbook.yaml. Now this shouldn't change anything on the side of the machines, and we'll keep it open over here. it might kick the processes, because if you actually noticed inside of the playbook, what I'll do is actually, I will stop the restart because I don't want to do anything. Everything else is just installing it to make sure it's there. So what I'll do, and it'll do 99, and I want this to touch every single box because I want it, configuration management, you want everything to be consistent. So what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on this. This is 10. No, this is 99. Yes, so 99 isn't even showing up here yet because it doesn't have anything installed, which is fine. So we should only see maybe one change, which is kicking cronny on all the machines, and then we should see a bunch of changes on one machine if everything is what we expect it to be. So playbook, so Ansible playbook -q admin k to ask for the password, uppercase K for sudo password, -i inventory.yaml, and then playbook.yaml. So if I've got this right, which I probably didn't, but we'll see, I log in as the admin user asking for the password of K, and then the uppercase K is to turn it into sudo, because if you looked at this thing, you may have noticed at the very beginning, I used the become line to become root using sudo, the inventory file of inventory.yaml, and the actual playbook, which pulls in that template. So let's see if this works. It's gathering facts, it's making connections, and everything looks fine there. We're gathering, getting data, doing what we expect, updating all the stuff because it's good to have everything updated. There's probably some stuff that needs to be changed, so that's fine. Interesting 75 had everything already up to date. 99 was updated too. Installing cronny's up to date. Here we go. Hopefully 99 takes a second to do it. 199, 199. Yes, okay, good. So as you can see, the differences here is just 199. Sorry about that. Let's see. If anyone has any questions or thoughts, I'm more than willing to answer anything. Well, we're just watching this, making sure if it's how we expect it to be. What we'll do is we'll SSH into 99 when this is done. That's good. Everything's what we wanted it to. Making progress. There we go. Get our template in there. And making things happening. All right, here we go. So I'm very shocked that this actually came in. That was not supposed to do that, but that's okay. It overwrote all those. So all these, when these restart now, these will all go back down to one CPU. That's a problem. Okay, that's not a big deal. We'll work with that. Okay. And, hi, how are you doing? Let's see, here we go. 99, here we go. So, SSH, admin. Now, we should not see the process running. PSWX, crap, FAH. It is running. Okay, that was not supposed to happen, but if that's true, we should be able to go to 199, save. Okay. Not what I was expecting. Server. Oh, haha. This could be due to a firewall. Okay, let's first reboot just to put it back into a state. We got everything installed, which is good. This is what we wanted. See if it comes back up. Maybe. Remember, this is a template, so we don't actually have the things to be installed. What are you doing? There we go. 199. He's back. Or it's back, I should say. PSWX. Oops. FH. So it is actually running. Okay. Now, if you look here at this file, you'll notice that the folding slots are down to that. So what we need to do, and also that's not correct. Let's run this again. We'll go back into the box. Everything should come back green minus the config file. What we'll do is we'll update the config file here in a minute too. Everything should just come back green. Hopefully this is making sense. We'll see. Do do do. Do do do. Thinking about it. Everything's green. That's good. Green is good. Green is good. Everything will be changed. The config file will be changed, but that's not a big deal. Doing stuff, seeing how it is. Doing stuff, seeing how it is. There we go. And 99 changed. The config file changed. Interesting. So if we go back in here and we do that. See, there we go. That is really odd. It didn't do it the first time, but it did it the second time. That's weird. Okay, so folding slots. We should probably figure that out so then we can update it across the board. So, but as you notice, this still hasn't actually connected. Turns out, there is a firewall by default attached to every CentOS box. Do not do this in the real world because these are all on my own internal data center. I can do this, but if this is on the real internet, do not do this. I can do firewall D, stop. And then if I do status, as you can see, it is loaded. So I want to disable that too. Disable. What? Sysconfig. Ah, crap. So it is stopped, which is good. And this should have connected. I don't know why it hasn't not connected. PSWX grep FH client. Of course, it's capital C, as we can see here. So system CTL firewall D disable. It's always the other way around, isn't it? Disable firewall D. Okay. Reboot one more time because reasons. Let's see it come back. Thinking about it. If anyone has any questions or thoughts, I'm more than willing to see what's going on. Hi, everybody. Gonna go ahead and say that. Hey! Thank you, IBM DevBot. Always helpful. Ha! There we go. And as you can see here, as soon as the machine came back up, we turned off that firewall and it got back in. So now, if we take a next step here and we look at the config problem, let's go ahead and configure this one to give it more slots. Okay, and okay. Save. Then, if I'm not crazy, there we go. As you can see, these folding slots now are in all of these. And the network allows, this is probably the one we actually want from people, or for our config file. So let's take it one step farther. Take this, copy this, and go back over here into our config template. Put it in here, because this is actually what we want, right? We want to be able to, don't need to use the GPU, same as with our remote pass. Network is fine, and the HTTP server listens to everybody. And we want four folding slots. So what we'll do to make sure that these are in the state that we want them to be in is take that and then come back over here and then push that out one more time. Now this should update all the ones to what we want it to be now. Doesn't have to install anything, it's just going to change that config file. And if I've got this right, we should be able to, okay, this is just annoying. I'm going to change this to client 00, save. This one to 01, save. Really? Sure. Come on. 02. Ah, there we go. Okay, good. Change this to 03. Not having it in order just seemed weird. 04. 05. 06. There we go. There's our changes there. So my theory here is I'm going to find one of the machines that aren't really doing much and reboot it using, or I'll just go to the machine. I'll be lazy. Eight. And 9. There we go. Now at least we're in numerical order. Okay. As we saw, 99 did not need any changes, which is good. Let's do it one more time, just because I'm paranoid. Excuse me. And everything should come back green because we're not making any changes. And go in there. Everything's coming green, which is what we're expecting. Green is good. Green is good. Nothing too exciting over here. Just still hacking away. Hi. Follow me on Twitter if you want. This is my handle, JJ Asgar. Pretty straightforward. Same as with GitHub, JJ Asgar too. You're more than welcome to join or ask me questions. I'm here to help however I can. Go back to the screen so you can actually see everything going on. Doing thing. There we go. Nice and green. Okay. So now, if I go ahead and find one of these machines that isn't really doing much. Homeboy here is almost done with one. How about we let him finish? Oh, here we go. This one is not doing anything. Paused. Okay. So, if I've got my theory right, I should be able to go to SSH into admin 172, 16, 10, 139. Maybe? Hello. Just thinking about it. Possibly. Uh-oh. Did I lose my connection? Maybe. Maybe. So I appreciate that, MW Brown. Thank you for double checking that everything's going well. It seems that my my laptop has decided to stop working. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, it's doing its thing now. Why wasn't I able to SSH into you? Ah, 10, not 20. My bad. Okay, so we can go ahead and reboot this box. Reboot. That'll disappear. As you can see, good. It's not happy. And if I've got this right, FAO client should pop up, and also it should have 4 CPU slots now instead of just that one, which is good to know. Let's see if I'm right. And this is 139. So 139 is... I should not have named it that, shouldn't I? I guess I could just stop it. Yeah, what is this one? That's 199. 199. You're now known as template. Save. Yeah, so let's go ahead and finish that one. In 5 hours, and ugh, that was dumb. Finish. So what I'll do is I'll turn this one 99 into in 6 hours and 26 hours and 26 minutes. I will. Can I just pause? There we go. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I don't want to do that. I want to finish this one. Ah. Okay. Interesting. So I'm worried that being that I have 4 floating slots on this thing, I'm going to have this one's going to take up. Oh, there we go. Came back with 4 slots, which is what we're hoping for. Sweet. Oh, here we go. How about we do... no. It's fine. So we'll let this run, and I'll turn this into a template for at a later date. But that's it. Honestly, that's kind of what I was hoping to show off with the Ansible playbook. and how to get this to be just created it. If you have a way to play with this stuff and all, this is a way to do it, which is kind of cool. And now I know how to put the folding slots in there and make sure everything's unified. Let's see. I really should do this as a... which one is this one? No, I want you to be folding. Why are you not folding? And then which was this one? Let's finish this one. And what I'll do is I'll take a 5-minute break. It's top of the hour, and I'm gonna go bio and all. And by the time this is done, what I'll do is this will be finished. It shouldn't receive any more. Then we'll turn this into a template, and this one will just become known as client 11, I guess. Client 11. And I'll change the name inside of here because consistencies. Because I know one day I'll be looking at it and be like, what the hell is this thing called template for? 12. Oh yeah, because zeros. So I should actually probably change that too. Yeah, whatever. Well, ideally I'll never actually have to look at this one. I'll just always make sure and control it via Ansible, because I shouldn't come into here and then maybe... But anyway, I'm babbling. Hey, and Rudip, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. But yes, I'll take a 5-minute break. Bio, get myself a drink, etc., etc. And then we'll turn number 6 here into our template, and then I'll stamp out probably 10 more of these, and we'll get the IPs, update the inventory file, and then I'll run some commands against it to kind of see how to do ad hoc stuff. So that'll be kind of fun. Cool. Well, yeah, I'll see y'all in just a little bit. Thanks so much. Okay, I'm back. So, as we can see here, we are finished and we have downloaded and stopped this guy. If you don't remember, hey everybody. So yes, sorry about that. We stopped this. We stopped this, which is good, and we have gone ahead and paused this one, and we can pause this one, pause this one. So it's all paused now. Good. We have stopped the process. We do not have to worry about it anymore, and it is again that way. So what we're going to do is we are going to shut down this machine, and this is 172 or admin 172 16 10 131 admin. Okay, we can do sudo shutdown now admin, and it goes down, which is what we were hoping for. So we can go over to this guy, 131. Of course, these do not match the names over there. That is a time to do something else. 131. Where is 131? 75, 244. 108, 73, 9. No. Obviously the one that was powered off. Good job, JJ. Good job. Okay. So what we can do is we can take this template. We can clone into a template. Into a template. And we are going to call this FAH, all folding at home template. Because this is how we want to set it up now, right? Go ahead and save this. Put it into my data center. Drop this in here. And then finish. And then go ahead and go over here to look at my templates, and I can reset all these to green because this is expected. Good old Diet Coke. There we go. And then make this big, and we can see FAO template. Here we go. Now, next question is, do we just create a bunch of machines with this template and then add it? Yes. Because as soon as we spin it up, it'll be set how we want it to. It should come back paused though, right? Let's see. So this should be folding at home 13. And next. Making that, power it on. Make that come up, and then we'll also go ahead and power on 7 again, which is 6. Ugh. So does that mean 7 is actually 8? Did I actually do that right? No, that would have been too easy. Okay, let's see. Doing my thing. Spinning up machines. Spinning up machines. There's 13. So this should give me an IP here in a moment. I should be able to connect to it. Maybe. There we go, 203. So I'm going to add, this is client 12, 203. If it comes in paused, we are winning. Yes! Okay. Cool. So basically when I add all the new machines, it comes in paused, and that allows me to turn on folding by everyone. Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and make 8 more of these. New VM, folding at home, 14. Copy this because I'm going to need that later. Next. 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 Power on. Finish. New VM from this template. 14, that becomes 15. Copy. And next. Next. So what would be really clever is I used Power CLI and just did a big for loop around all this. But I did not do that. Because there's no reason why you should have to do this 20 different times. But that is a exercise for another day. My goal is, I should actually spin up some Power CLI script. Maybe I'll do that here in a minute. Yeah, so I can like turn on and all these off at the same time. Because then they all check in. That's clever. That's really clever. Okay, hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself here. 17. Copy. There we go. Put that in there. Next. Because I have not written some Power CLI. It'd be nice to have some scripts that I can be like, all the folding on home machines power on, all of them power off, you know? Because that makes a lot more sense. Because if I actually had to use this instead of just doing what I'm doing now, to learn, if I had to actually do it for like some real work, this is real work, but you know what I mean. Or if it's just idle, that'd be a different opportunity. Then I could, also, I should probably put some monitoring on these boxes at some point because, it'd be nice to know when, like I'm not always going to have this little folding at home control center up and running because that'd just be dumb. But it'd be nice to have like, I can't believe I say it's like Nagios or maybe Sensu or something watching these machines. So if the client breaks or something like that, I'd get an email saying, hey, things are broken. So I can do that later. This is a lot of traditional stuff. It's not very cloud native-y. I realize that, and I apologize. But there's still a lot of people out there who use VMware. There's still a lot of people out there who have to deal with actual VMs and not just like containers. And it's still good to have this skill set to learn how to do these things. Okay, so I should have 20 of these machines now. There we go. So you start on 0, so that's 13. So then this is 14. Okay, I'm going to pull you over here. You're a little off my screen now, but that's fine. And then 14, so that's 129. 129. 129. Save. That was a mistake. 13. Save. As we can see, it's paused. Good. And then 129, 233, 233. There's got to be a way to automate all this because this is, it did it again. 14. Save. Add. 146. 146. 15. Save. Add. 142. So 116. 142. Yep. Okay. Then 18. 194, 194, and this has become 17. Save. And 18. This is 130, 113. 113. Ah! 113. Here we go. And finally, because we are on the zero numbers, 149. 149. Excuse me. That would be really cool if I could stop it, JJ. You're getting ahead of yourself again. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold, 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 fold. There we go. So now we should have a ton of machines, including you, churning through this stuff. I'd be curious to see also what the command was to stop it on. Ooh, why are you finishing? You should not be finishing. Hold. There we go. Okay. All right. We're off to the races. It's interesting how this guy, 113, pulled down a bunch of stuff for us. Nothing else did, though. We should look into that machine here in a minute. Okay. It'd be interesting to see what the command was, or the config file, to save everything, put up in everything in pause mode, because that's kind of odd that, you know, you'd imagine it would start it, or at least I don't know, whatever. So that's churning along. I don't think we can still see anything. Yep, so bad big anyway. Maybe one day we'll be able to see what's going on. See what the total amount of points we're earning off of this thing. It is trying. Yeah, it's waiting for WS assignment. I'm assuming that's work something. FAA core. What is that? What does this mean? Can I tell it what project to work on? That would be interesting, because then I could just dedicate all of these to expert. No. Just thinking about it. If anyone has any ideas or thoughts, I'd love to hear them, because this is name or alias you enter will be displayed as participation on our website. If you do not enter a name, your computer's time will be donated anonymously. Oh, well, I should probably fix that. It's not a big deal, because I'm here to help, right? It'd be really nice to know what the team amount is, because right now this is one big team, but I'm going to hand myself again. Okay, so we successfully now have 20 machines churning through for team 24, 14, 36, which isn't bad, right? Like that's a good thing to do, and it'll just sit here and churn through it. Now, hopefully, we come over here. We should see this is 193. 193. So this is using 8.4 gigahertz. I don't know what that means. But if we go back to our folding at home, hopefully, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. Now we are actually utilizing almost all of the CPU for this whole cluster. Like all 134 gigahertz of this just churning through for folding at home. Now, if that's not cool, I don't know what is. Yeah, that might be worth tweeting out later. I'm going to take a screenshot of that one. Crosshair screenshot. There we go. Keep that for later. And that makes me feel good. Now I finally figured out how to get all these going. So now all 20 machines are just churning through stuff, which makes life much easier. Okay, now I don't want to actually mess with it because it is actually doing real work. But if I needed to, let's say for instance, okay, so now we've gone ahead and we know how to control our machines, but we haven't actually gone into our this machine to be able to control these on from the, like if I want to, well, no, do I really want to figure out how to turn all these off right as they started getting working? I probably don't, do I? So any thoughts? Anyone who's watching? Do you think I should sit here and start doing some monitoring around this? Or do you think I should do some power CLI work to try to get this this working so I can run like a couple scripts and be able to be like, no more, and to stop you from working, like just turn them all off or whatever, instead of me having to click through as you saw a few moments ago. I'll give this a second to the stream to catch up here. If I'm correctly, I can go to 172. Here's my Jenkins instance. This is going to be another stream where I'm going to walk through what's going on here. But what I want to do is I want to look at the pipeline. Copy. Paste and go. And then I look at this Jenkins file. And here we go. So I need to pull that Docker container down. So Docker run Docker run -it VMware Power CLI core. So I'm pulling down the Power CLI, and maybe I'll grab some, get a nice little yeah, why not? Okay, so let's actually do some Power CLI stuff now. So I've done this a few times, but unfortunately I don't do this every single day, so I constantly forget what's going on. So what I'll do is I will do first, like I said at the very beginning of the stream, have a README. It's always useful. Power CLI notes. Okay, so I want to run a Power CLI command. If I created a bunch of Power CLI stuff, here is a template bash. So this is important to know, and let me walk through what's going on here. If I wanted to run a PS1 and I want it to be ephemeral, what I'll do is I want this to run PowerShell, then mount pwd into mount, and then call this script.ps1. Okay, so this command will literally mount the mount directory of the local directory that I'm running it in, push it into PowerShell, and then run script.ps1. Obviously, script.ps1 doesn't actually exist right now, but that's just a template to work with. So I take it one step farther, and I can go back over here into the CI scripts. Now, as you can see, here's a bunch of stuff that we're going to be doing, but the most important is this right here, where we're actually going to be running a bunch of commands against it. Now, as you notice, I actually have the password in here. Don't pay attention to that. But again, you can't actually get to it unless you're VPN'd in, and that's just because of the way it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and make their exp. I've recently taken up the exp as an experimental directory, where that allows me to play around with stuff that I want to. So I'm going to do login.ps1. So that did not work how I wanted it to. So what we're going to do is code login.ps1. I want PowerShell to do its. Yes, I do want to. Why have you not installed that? That seems very odd that you haven't done that. So this is VS Code. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to actually install PowerShell. I just want the actual highlighting in here. This is VS Code. If you didn't know, the other one that I've been writing in is Emacs. I like Emacs a lot more personally. I've just been using it for going on a decade, if not longer now. This is VS Code, which has a lot of the same bindings that I've already turned it into, a lot like Emacs, and it's great for sharing things. So hopefully, maybe in one of my future streams, I can have someone else typing in there with me or talking, or we can working on it together. But for this, their highlighting is so much better for PowerShell, because PowerShell is basically what Power CLI is based off of, and it is a Windows product, and VS Code is a Windows product. So it kind of all comes together. So let's go ahead and take this right here. So these are our variables, and we're going to paste that in here. So we know this is how we get to our data store, and this is how we actually connect. And then we want to actually connect into our paste. So now if I've got this right, I should be able to take these, oops, too many screens. If I've got this right, I should be able to connect in with these actual, I should be able to copy paste this login PS1 and connect directly into our vCenter and be able to start doing some work. So I need to save. Okay. So if I do cat login, it's all there, how we saved it, what we expected. So what I'll do is I will take all this. No, cancel. So I should be able to do docker run -it VMware Power CLI core. I'm in there, so I should be able to take, because this is actually running PowerShell, I should be able to hit those things. Got a bunch of variables, and now I should do invalid. Don't worry about the certificate. That's what we expected. And then I should take the same thing, and I should be able to copy and connect into our vCenter. I have. There we go. So we now have a login script that ignores the private or the invalid certification or certificate, and I do it in one command, and then I take all the same variables above here and log into it and be able to actually connect into what I needed to. This is good stuff. So then I can do get VM, and as you'll see, there's all our commands. There are all our VMs here. This is not what I expected. So hang on. There we go. So now we can see 1 through 20. And I can actually delete or destroy, or I can actually set VM stats, so I can actually turn things on and off here. So if I wanted to be like, so what I can do, because this is just our login script, if I needed to, this is the best way to do it, power CLI, power off VM. It's called the stop VM command. So what I could do is I could do a for loop looking for any machine with a folding at home, and then just turn it off. So do a PowerShell power CLI list VMs. So there we go. So let's take this as get VM. Because of the way PowerShell is done, select name VM host. So this will actually tell us which hosts are on. That's pretty cool, huh? So we actually know what GSXi host is on, because we just pipe it in. So if I need to power off power CLI list a bunch of VMs, and there we go, and there it is right there. So I could actually put in the get content of the VM host and just walk through them all, but I know there's a way. Select name. There's a way to do this. All right, select name where, oh, come on. I know there's a way. Get VM select name. There's a way to do splats where I can do, if I need to find a specific one, I used to do this all the time, and select name, get VM with host name. There it is. Yeah, it's where where $.name match folding. There we go. So by running this command, I look for, I probably don't need the actual select other name, do I? There we go. Oh, but I just wanted the name. Select name. So they're all my folding at home machines. I don't know why it's not in order. Not a big deal. But now with this, I can take it one step farther and create a machine where I log in. Copy, paste, and then don't need these. So I log in, and then I can get VM and select anything with the name of paste. So my theory being is list folding at home.ps1. My theory being I should be able to go to mount here. No. Was not expecting that. So let's try. Oh, I didn't actually mount it. So what we can do is go back to my. I can never remember this off the top of my head, and that's not a big deal. This stuff is hard. Dash V. Docker T dash V $PWD mount. So then I should be able to come into /mount and see that. So I can do pwsh US folding at home. That should log into our machine and then list everything out for us. There we go. So now we can actually pull it in and get the data and then actually be able to write it how I expect it to. Now, the next logical step would be to get VM. Because I'm not actually connected to anything, I need to do PWS or PWSH. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do login. So I'm actually running it. So because I ran PWSH earlier and through that script you saw here, what I did is I spawned another shell and then ran that PS1 in that shell, so I don't actually have it on my actual container. That's the reason why nothing happened there. But because I did /login, now I can do get VM and I see all my VMs because now that actual shell has the rights to be able to talk to our vCenter. And again, I'm sitting inside of a container inside of the machine, so that's always useful. Also used to have. Now that I've done that, I should be able to do cat power or list. So if I do get VM where $I what was it? I don't even brain dead. It was match, that's right. Name match folding. Select name. Okay, that's what I expected. I'm pretty sure I can do just literally a power off command, and just be like, nuke it, and just be like, no more. Everybody turn off. Let me power CLI power off. Stop VM, that's right. So I think that's it. Oh no, it would have been too easy, I guess. Was close. Not 100% there yet. Now that's a pretty good one, but it actually pulls in that. I don't want that. I want to just take it from the list. Let's see. There's got to be a way to just anything with the name of blah, shut it down. Get VM, get VM, blah, blah. What is It's a stupid website. Yeah, start it, blah, blah, blah. Get name. Yep, that's what I expected. Oh, is it really just start? Oh, wow. Okay. So I was doing this the hard way. Stop VM star folding. Yes to all. Did I just do it? I think I just did. Huh! There we go. So I am that command just turned off all our machines. Wow, that makes life so much easier. So then the flip side, start. So as you can see, everything's powered off and they're all coming back on now. Well, that was significantly easier than I thought it was. I did not realize it was that easy. And there they are. They're all about coming up now. 58 megahertz is only free left. Wow. We are pushing this this cluster to its limit. And that was my goal. I have had these machines for a while, and I wanted to, and we should actually see over in our, there we go, things are coming back up online as expected, updating, and everyone's back to doing the work they were supposed to be doing. So now I have a one command, turn on and off. So if I needed to actually use this for something else, I could do stop VM, login, stop VM, folding, star folding, or dash VM, you know what I'm saying? And it does the work I expect it to. Wow, that's really cool. Like, I was not expecting to get that done today. I thought I had to do a lot more than that. But as you can see, PowerCLI and PowerShell is quite straightforward when you get your head wrapped around it. I guess, does this mean get dash VM folding? Interesting how get VM doesn't have that ability. Get VM. What can I do with get VM? Okay, hang on. History. So back to my original statement here. I should put these commands in here so I know what they do. Okay. To stop all the machines with folding in the name dash. This would be stop VM and folding. Nope, and log in the cluster automatically. Excuse me. Oops. Dash. That was /login.ps1 to start all the machines with folding in the name dash start VM dash VM. I'm really surprised that get VM, maybe there's a get VM folding. Ah, that makes more sense. Okay, so instead of having to do the dash VM for some reason, inconsistently, that seems weird. Like, why would you have stop VM and get VM and be able to do... Yeah. Huh. So it looks like I can do a splat against all my VMs um, with dash VM, but there is no dash VM folding. Folding. Oh, there is. Wait, what? Dash VM. That doesn't work. Start VM folding. They should all be already started. So it is telling me something. They're already on. Oh, okay. So you don't actually need the dash VM. Okay, that makes more sense. So I can just do stop VM and start VM, which makes life a little bit easier. Okay, so now if I needed to turn off all my crunching, I can just hit the button and it does the thing. But if I want to turn it back on, I just do the thing. And we are really pushing this thing now. Holy crap. Maybe that's the better screenshot of me just churning through this thing. There we go. So I'll put a tweet out there in a little bit about chewing through that one. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so we now have a way to create machines when we need them. We have machines that are processing. Maybe we should check in on one of these machines, see how they're doing. Oops. So let's go ahead and look at add many 172, 16, 10, 139. So this guy should be doing. Oh wait. Oh, do we remember which machine was the one with HTOP on it? Or no? Oh, have you also noticed these are all set to medium? Medium. Well, let's go all the way, people. Why are we not full power? I don't actually know what the folding power means, but we're going to go full power. Full power. Full power. Full. 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 And full. Okay. Was it 99? I think it was 99 or 199. Let's try that. Nope. That would have been too easy. History, grab SSH. Let's try 1765. Stop. Nope. 9. Stop. Nope. 239. No. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, if you were listening to the stream earlier, I talked about load average and how load average is a lie. And I'll just reiterate that again. Load average is just how many processes are waiting in line to take a CPU. So as you can see here, our load average is sitting at 4 point. This is a minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. That sounds right. So for a minute, we've had 4 processes waiting to work on basically 4 things in line. Well, we are sitting with 4 CPUs, as you can see here, at 100%. These 4 CPUs, you divide that by the load average, and that's actually how many things are waiting in line to do the work. So we are optimizing these 4 virtual CPUs at 100% continually right now, and with very little lag on the machine. The memory is pretty much negligible, as you can see, 136 megs to the 8 gigs of RAM that's just sitting in the box. And this is a virtual machine too, don't forget. So we are optimized this machine, which is number client 11. No. Which one is this one? IP 239. 239. This one. So this, oops, H top. So this guy right here, 239, having four floating slots, 4 whole CPUs dedicated, and we have optimized this machine to this virtual machine for 100% productivity. This was surprisingly harder to get to this point than I thought it would be. But now that I understand what's going on, this makes a lot more sense. So we have an Ansible playbook that installs our folding and home agents, which I think actually installs more than you need. That's not a big deal because all you need is the client to run. And then after running the client, you make sure that the configuration takes advantage of how many CPU cores you have. In this case, I have 4. And then we go ahead and make sure that anyone can access it in our case. And then with that, we take over the control. We churn it all the way up, and everything comes together. Now, interestingly enough, I still can't see our aggregate total, which is really annoying. So I want to see how much it does. But it's broken, and I don't know how to, like, obviously that's not high priority. Like, it's not a big deal that this is gone. It's one of those nice to haves. We don't need to see that anymore. So we now know how to turn everything on and off if we need to. We're churning through an idle CPU that wasn't doing anything. And it just kind of works. This is like that was all my plans, right? My plans were to just get all this stuff to put together, to churn through my full cluster here of 134 gigahertz of capacity, which I don't actually know if that means anything, but all 64 actual processors, which is, oh wait, hold on. If I have a total of 64 processors, and each of these have 4, do these have multiple processors? I don't actually know what I got from ordering. So I might actually be using more than, hang on. Okay, so there's 32 logical processors in this cluster, or in this the hypervisor. So 32 times 4 is 128 processors. Okay, 128 processors are at 210 gigahertz each. And then I have 20 machines with 4 vCPUs. So that means I have 80 processors at 2.4 gigahertz running, which would give us, okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to, I'm going to put this tweet together now because I am not going to do this math later. Twitter. Okay. Oops. Okay. With 20 CentOS VMs running at 4 vCPUs at 2.1 gigahertz. I now have maxed out my VMware cluster doing folding at home. Okay. Dedicating 80, no, so it's 4 times 80 vCPUs, dedicating 80 vCPUs at 100% for this project is the least I could do. You have spare CPU cycles? Look. Ansible playbook to help it. And that was GitHub, JJ Asgar, folding at home playbook. There we go. And I think that is a pretty good place for me to stop today's stream. I mean, I got exactly what I wanted done. I was able to maximize my whole cluster. I know how to turn things on and off now. I know how to be able to yeah, this is pretty good. So I'm here now. I'll stick around for a couple minutes here if anyone's watching or paying attention. And I realize I haven't streamed too long, but this was my goal for the stream, was to do some folding at home, Ansible and VMware CloudWork to actually get this up and going. If there are any questions or thoughts, I'm here to help however I can. Oops. This is not the one I was looking for. That's the button I was looking for. My bad. So I'll just sit here for a minute or two and just say hi. And hopefully people have learned something. So, yeah. I'm actually really happy with where I got with the stream. And next time I stream, maybe I'll set up some monitoring around this, because this is a good experience. But I'll turn off one of the machines to give us some of our capacity back, which would be nice, because it's again we are maximizing this, and some poor machine in the data center, or poor rack in the data center is probably overheating now. So. Anyway, if nobody has anything, again, I will say thank you. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll be back next Thursday. This is my time, which is from about 2 p.m. Central Time to 5 p.m. Central Time. And then next Friday, not tomorrow, but next Friday, I actually have some people from Red Hat and we are going to do some OpenShift work, which will be kind of cool. And we're going to learn some... I've played with OpenShift enough. I've actually taught some OpenShift classes, but there's a lot of things that I just don't fully get. And I have 2 OpenShift experts with me, and we're going to start playing around, and we're going to try to make this a weekly Friday thing where we're going to just be in there playing around with OpenShift, trying to do cool stuff. And I really hope people learn stuff, and we'll see how everything goes. So thanks so much, and everyone take it easy. Bye-bye.